Speech is going to be Sarah Chen.
Good morning. Race is a peculiar world. When hearing it, your mind may jump to the Kentucky Derby, NASCAR, or some kind of Olympic marathon. But none of these races concern me. After all, I've never liked horses, I don't have my license, and my mile year is measured to light years. No, the one and only race that concerns me is the type that classifies humans. I'm Asian, as you can tell, but out of the 6,524 days I've been alive, I've only spent 120 of them in Asia, 121 if you count the plane ride back to the United States. So yes, I was born in China, but on that 120th day of my life, I traded in my red passport for a blue one and started a new life as a daughter of 2 white people from the United States. I don't really consider myself Asian. I suppose genetically I'm a purebred, but it still confuses me when people ask me to translate their henna symbols or to converse with the lady from the nail salon. I get it all the time. It doesn't help that my first name is Sarah Chen. As if it weren't obvious enough that I'm Asian, my parents felt the need to tack the Chen onto my name. Since everyone assumes that Sarah is my first name and Chen is my last name, they assume that I hail from a family of Chinese origin. However, my last name is really O'Connell-O'Gork, which is about as Western European as you can get. To make matters more complicated, when I was younger, I legitimately could not use chopsticks. I would position the bamboo pieces between my thumb and my forefinger, but I couldn't coordinate my fingers enough to pick up a piece of food. And in the rare case that I was able to pick up a piece of food, it would take every ounce of my focus to get the food from my plate to my mouth. Once, my aunt, who was Italian, took me out for our Chinese food. When Aunt Maria's food came, they brought her a fork and a knife. But when my food came, they merely dropped a colorful paper wrapper next to my plate. I could see the chopsticks, my enemies, sticking out from the top of the wrapper. In my head, all I could think was no, but I was too shy and embarrassed to ask the waiter for any silverware. Collisions with racial puzzles continued to follow me into my middle school years. One day after school, I heard my doorbell ring. It was my neighbor, Johnny, who I had known as long as I could remember and had taught me how to swim. He had bought something online and the instructions were in Chinese. He came over and asked me to help him translate the lines, but I had to tell him I just couldn't help him. Just last year, an SCH admissions counselor contacted me and asked me as a student guide to give a tour of the school to a prospective family and the student and his family. When the family arrived, I saw that it was an Asian family. As I showed the family around campus, I came to realize that the mother didn't speak English. She tried to speak with me in Korean, but I couldn't understand her. Not only am I not fluent in another language, but I'm not even Korean. In each of these anecdotes, people see me and mentally categorize me before they know me as a person. My speech has demonstrated racial stereotypes that I have encountered over my lifetime, but the message of my speech is not about racial assumptions particularly, but about assumptions in general. While assumptions are often neither malicious nor vindictive in nature, they have a way of limiting people, of reducing people to a cliché. In the future, challenge yourself to see beyond assumptions. If you are able to think with an open mind and suspend judgment, your perception will expand, allowing you to see the people around you in more dimensions. Before assuming that the guy on the football team is a mindless jock, get to know him. Maybe he loves poetry. You never know. The person sleeping in the back of the classroom might have stayed up all night reading Socrates. And the girl dressed head to toe in designer clothes might be hiding a pair of Crocs in her closet. Not everything is what it seems. Thank you.